back in 2025. It's already nighttime here in northern Israel. At the moment, it's quiet, relatively. However, there's a lot of action happening in the battlefields of Gaza and Lebanon, where Israel is taking out enemies day by day and targets day by day. And it turns out, what do you know? Hamas, the terror organization in Gaza, has just admitted to lying about the death rates during the war by 75%. What do I mean by that? Well, big takeaway is that they have quietly removed the names of many thousands of people that were um, previously on their list of death of dead people who have passed away during the war that they'd blamed on Israel or the war. Previously, Hamas said that something in the area of 75% of the 72% of the dead were women and children. When they keep telling you 50,000 people are dead because of the war, and they never differentiate really between women and children and Hamas terrorists. And then they started to make claims that something like 72% of the dead were women and children. Well, now it turns out, after they removed a bunch of names from the list that shouldn't be on there, it turns out that 75% of the people that are actually dead as a result of the war against Israel since 2023, since October 7th, 2023, 75% of them are in fact Hamas terrorists, right? And other terrorists, basically fighting age men. 75%. That is a remarkable turn of events. And it speaks to the incredible efficacy of the Israeli Defense Forces. First of all, even with the original numbers that Hamas was claiming, even if you take them at their word, which we knew was a lie anyway, but even if we went with their word, even so, the numbers of Hamas and terrorists war dead as a ratio of the number of terrorists to civilians or civilians to terrorists was incredibly low, already as it were. This is something unheard of in urban combat, in urban warfare, to have less than 2-to-1 civilian to combatant deaths in urban warfare is just unheard of, and it already was that number. Okay, and even if you take out their worst claims, it was less than 4-to-1 or 3-to-1, which is unheard of numbers again. But it was even officially it was 2-to-1. Okay, now they're saying actually it's not 2-to-1. It's 3 terrorists for every 1 civilian. It's hard to put into words how incredibly efficient that is. And again, when I say this, I mean, still, no matter what, every death, including the scumbags who deserve it, frankly, for fighting this stupid war. Every death is a tragedy, right? Especially the ones who are actually innocent civilians. Yeah, it's an absolute tragedy. It's a shame that any single one of them. That is absolutely awful. Okay, let's not kid around. Let's not joke, beat around the bush here, and pretend it's not. It's an absolute tragedy. Any one of them is dead. But let's also remember that Israel goes out of its way, far and above, way beyond any other army, to make sure that we don't harm civilians, because we don't want to harm civilians, right? Purity of arms matters in the Israeli Defense Forces. You may not believe it. You may be brainwashed into thinking, oh, Israel genocide, Israel genocide. Listen, if Israel genocides, then explain to me how the population in Gaza has increased since October 7th, 2023. If Israel genocides, how come the average Gazan has gained weight since October 7th, 2023? If Israel genocides, explain to me, how is it that for every one civilian death in Gaza due to the war since October 27th, this is October 7th, 2023, there are 3 terrorist deaths? That ratio is unbelievably efficient. Unbelievably efficient. It's staggeringly huge. Now, I know there are people going to deny this, and they'll point to some Turkish website, which is propaganda in and of itself. They'll point to some Turkish website that publishes supposed lists from Hamas. Right? Hamas has admitted this. Okay, their actual lists, which you can see. You can download the PDFs that they publish. You can see the information for yourself. There's even a group called the John Henry Society, which does this separately, and it tracks the number of war dead. Okay, so it turns out Israel has done so far an incredible job of getting the bad guys and trying to reduce as close to zero the number of civilians as possible that get harmed in Gaza. So that's the quick update. Hopefully this awful war will end soon. In the meantime, this is amazing and impressive news, and I thought I'd share it with you guys. All right, peace. Take care. Hey, Manishma.